Most people build an OpenClaw agent and use it just to answer questions. That's like buying a race car to drive to the grocery store. This thing has exec, read, write, edit, and browser. It can do everything a developer does at a terminal. Welcome back to the OpenClaw Bootcamp. It's day 14. I'm Adhiraj, and today we stop treating your agent like a chatbot and start treating it like a coding partner. Quick recap. So on day 13, you deployed OpenClaw to a VPS, you set it up as a daemon, configured remote access, and ran a security audit on the whole deployment. Today, there's 3 things on our agenda. First, what agentic coding actually is, and the align before build prompting pattern that makes it work. The difference between useful output and wasteful tokens comes down to how you prompt. Second, build logs and planning. The system that lets your agent work across multiple sessions on the same project without losing context. And the third, sub-agent coding patterns. So how to orchestrate research, implementation, testing, and review agents working together on a single project. Let's get super direct about what agentic coding is and what it isn't. Agentic coding is not autocomplete. It's not GitHub Copilot suggesting the next line. Your agent uses exec, read, write, and edit tools to do full autonomous development. It reads your code base, understands the structure, makes a plan, writes the implementation, and then runs it. Then when it hits errors, it debugs and iterates until it works. The loop looks like this. For read, the agent examines the existing code and context. For plan, it decides what to build and how. For write, it creates or edits files. For test, it runs commands to verify. For fix, it debugs errors and iterates. That's the React loop applied to the software development, and it works because the agent has the same tools that the developer does: terminal, a file system, and the ability to search the web for documentation. The key prompting pattern here is align before build. You explain your idea, the agent asks clarifying questions, you agree on the approach, and then, and only then, does it start writing code. If you skip the alignment step and you just say, build me the thing, you'll get code that technically does run, but it won't match what you actually wanted. Flesh out before executing, that is the golden rule. Now let's go through the tools that your agent actually uses when it codes. Exec is the big one here. It runs any command like npm install, git commit, Python scripts, cargo build, basically whatever your project needs. This is the agent's hands on the keyboard. With exec approval enabled, the agent poses each command and you approve it before it runs. Read, write, and edit are the file operations. The agent reads source code to understand it, writes new files for implementations, and uses edit for surgical changes to existing files. Web search and web fetch let the agent research. It can look up API documentation, find package readmes, check Stack Overflow for patterns. If it doesn't know how a library works, it can literally learn it in real time. That's what makes this more than a code generator, because it can actually do the investigation. Browser lets it test web applications visually. It can open a page, click elements, verify that the UI renders correctly, does end-to-end testing without leaving the agent session. And session spawn delegates subtasks to subagents, but we'll get deep into that on slide 8. The golden rule, as I mentioned earlier, is flesh out before executing. I cannot stress this enough. The number one mistake people make with agentic coding is going straight to build it without alignment. So here's the pattern. Step 1 is explain your idea. Describe what you want built, the constraints, the expected behavior, and what success looks like. Step 2 is let the agent ask questions. Good agents clarify before coding. If your agent jumps straight to writing code without asking anything, that's a red flag because at that point, it's guessing, it's not understanding. Step 3 is agree on the approach. Review the plan before a single line of code is written, and then step 4 is execute on it. Now the agent can build with clarity. Reverse prompting is the advanced move here. Ask the agent questions back, like what edge cases should we handle? What dependencies does this need? What could break? The agent often knows things that you haven't considered because it's read more code base than any single human. And for anything beyond a one-session task, create a build log at memory/build project_name.markdown. This file is going to track progress across sessions, and if a session crashes or you come back the next day, the agent reads the build log and picks up exactly where it left off. The log is the continuity. Any project that takes more than 3 steps or more than 2 hours needs a plan file first. There's no exceptions here. Before writing a single line of code, create memory build project_name.markdown. And the prompt I use every single time is before we build, create this markdown file with the goal, constraints, ordered steps with checkboxes, current status, decisions made, and blocker. That gives the agent a structured document to work from and update as it goes. Now, what goes in the build log? Well, the goal, so what you're building and why, the steps, so ordered tasks with checkboxes that get checked as they're completed, status, which is what step you're on and when it was last updated, decisions, so why you chose approach X over approach Y, so future sessions don't relitigate settled questions, blockers, so what's stuck and what to try next, and then completed item. So what's done with any notes about anything unexpected. The critical discipline you need to drill in is logging every step. After every step completes, the agent should update the build log. So it should check the box, know what happened, and update the status. This pays off every time a session ends unexpectedly, and sessions do this all the time. Context windows fill up, connections drop, you close your laptop. And when you come back and start a new session, the agents could read the build log and know exactly where to pick up. Once your agent successfully completes a coding task, you can turn the workflow into a reusable skill. This is how your development setup compounds over time. These are 3 dev-relevant skill categories you should know. The GitHub skill handles repos, pull requests, issues, and code review. Your agent can literally create PRs with this, review diffs, and manage issues directly. Code review skills give you automated review patterns, like consistent style checks, and CI/CD monitoring lets your agent watch builds, report failures, and even trigger deployments. The most powerful pattern is creating skills from completed tasks. After the agent finishes something, say just set up a new Express API with TypeScript, testing, and Docker, you tell it, turn what you just did into a skill. The agent's going to extract the pattern from its own session history and codify it. Next time you need an Express API, it's one command operation instead of a 30-minute conversation. This is where agentic coding gets serious. The orchestrator pattern uses subagents to parallelize development. So a research agent investigates APIs and reads documentation. An implementation agent writes actual code. Testing agent writes and runs test suites. And a review agent does code review and quality checks. The main agent's going to coordinate all of them. The key rule here is you want one discrete feature per spawn. Never just tell it build the whole thing. Subagents are ephemeral, so they get one task. They do it and then they report back. If you try to give a subagent too much scope, it loses focus and produces worse results than doing it in the main session. Keep spawns small and specific. Timing matters a lot too. Space your spawns 20 to 30 minutes apart. Don't flood the system with 5 subagents at once. Each one needs time to complete before the next one can pick up the results. The research agent needs to finish before the implementation agent can use its findings. And here's how the coordination works. The build log is going to persist across all the subagents. So each subagent reads the build log on start, does its work, and updates the log in completion. The log is a shared state between all the agents. The main agent monitors the build log to know when each subagent has finished and what it accomplished. This is not a theoretical pattern, but this is how you build real features. 4 things before day 15. First, you want to create a build log. So pick any project, even a small one, and create that file with the goal, steps, status, and decisions. Practice the discipline before you need it on a real multi-session build. Get comfortable with that format. Second, use your agent to write a small script with exec and write. A file renamer, a log parser, a data formatter, something useful but scope. Use the align before build pattern, so explain the idea, let the agent ask questions, agree on the approach, then execute. Pay attention to how different the result is compared to just saying, write me a script. Third, spawn a subagent for the coding subtask. Use session spawn or subagent spawn to delegate something discrete, like writing tests for existing code, creating documentation, or researching an API you want to integrate. Monitor it with subagent's log and see how it reports back. Fourth, turn a completed coding task into a skill. After finishing tasks 2 and 3, tell the agent turn what you just did into a skill. Then review that generated skill definition and think about what other repetitive development tasks you could automate this way. After 14 days, your agent is a legitimate development partner. It can read code, write implementations, run tests, fix errors, coordinate subagents, and maintain continuity across sessions through build logs. That's literally a junior developer who never sleeps and never forgets the plan. Day 15 is multi-agent, so orchestrating multiple specialized agents with different roles, different configs, and different capabilities all working together. You've used subagents for coding tasks. Tomorrow, you learn to architect entire agent teams. If you want help setting up agentic coding workflows or anything from this bootcamp, consult with me at otherworldchannel.com. And if you're ready to start building and selling AI automations, join the free AI automation sprint. Links in the bio. Subscribe so you don't miss day 15, and I'll see you there.